Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story comes from paletteofemotionss from the Am I the Arsehole Here subreddit, and it says, Am I the arsehole for exposing an influencer to her family after she demanded a free painting and $200 on top of that? Threatening to tell her followers not to buy from me if I refused. My mum's goddaughter, let's call her Jen, 29 female, asked me, 25 female, to do a painting for her because she saw I did one for a mutual friend. Let's call her Anna. Jen wanted the painting as a gift for her father, who is a retired photographer. Here's the thing, Anna paid me for the painting, and everything went smoothly. She posted a picture of the painting with her mum as she was gifting it to her. Well, Jen saw that painting and became interested in one for her father. The problem is, she wanted me to do it for free. She said she would advertise it on her Instagram and tell her fans to buy from me in exchange for the painting. I told her no, I am not in a great financial spot right now and I cannot afford to do something for free. She wanted a custom-sized canvas, which is not commonly found in stores. I would either have to have made it myself or try to find it online for a reasonable price. I explained this to her, but she still didn't understand. She said I already had the materials on hand and that she didn't think art materials were that expensive. She accused me of being greedy and not having a vision for business, claiming that her exposure would be more valuable than my art. She also said she wanted me to pay her $200 on top of the free painting, arguing that with her help, I would make so much money, and companies pay her to review things. She pointed out that every creative artist or individual, including her father, did free work at the beginning, and everything went downhill when she noticed I wasn't replying. I was working. And she started talking down on me because I was let go from the military for medical reasons beyond my control. She said I failed at everything, including that, and that she was giving me the option to succeed and make my parents proud. Since I wasn't replying, she called my mum to complain that I didn't want to do a free painting for her. As I mentioned, she's my mum's goddaughter, and my mum seems to have a preference for her. Mum called me back and demanded I do the painting for free. I became enraged. Jen's words about my parents not being proud of me stuck in my head. So, I decided to draw a 2-second sketch and told her that was a free painting and to leave me alone. She became really angry, threatening to post on social media, telling her followers not to buy from me and to ruin my art career. I've received a few more phone calls from my mum, which I haven't answered, and some hate messages from what I assume are her followers. Am I the arsehole here for exposing her text to her family, including the internet? Absolutely not the arsehole in this situation. This isn't about exposure or helping a fellow creative. It's about an entitled influencer trying to bully someone into giving them free stuff. And I'd be really interested in a father's thoughts on this, who's a photographer himself. I would hope that he would be pretty disgusted, and it'd be interesting what she actually tells her followers as well, because, you know, if she gave that story to him, you would think a lot of those followers would be like, hell no. But some of the other stuff she was doing, using family connections to pressure OP, I saw a little emotional manipulation in the middle there about that they'd make their parents proud, and of course threatening to destroy their business if they didn't do what they was told. But OP did add the text messages in a screenshot format, and they started off saying, "Hi girly, how are you? Oh my god, I saw the painting you did for someone's mum, and it's so cute. I want one for my dad. Same thing, the childhood house and him teaching me how to ride a bike. I would like it bigger though. I'm thinking 17 by 28, so you have enough space for the house and everything." OP responded saying, "Hi there, I'm good. I'd love to do such a painting for you. I had so much fun painting that for her. Just for your information, 17 by 28 would be more expensive since it's a custom size." She responded, "What do you mean?" And OP said, "Most art stores don't carry that size, meaning I'd have to have it stretched on my own or have someone custom make me that size." They replied, "But I mean, it shouldn't be that bad. I've seen canvas and paint for $5 at Walmart." OP responded saying, "Yeah, but I'm just saying the cost will increase for you. Give me a second and I calculate the total and provide an estimate for the down payment." She responded, "Well, about that. I was thinking that we could work out a great deal for you. I think the one who's going to pay me at the end of this is you. You know my dad is a well-known photographer and knows everyone in Highland Park, literally. He's going to tell everyone about your paintings, and I will post it on my Instagram. I have a lot of followers too that do what I say, so honestly, I think with all that exposure, a normal person would pay $900. But since you're doing the painting, I'll charge you $200 plus the painting. Opie says, what? I'm sorry, but I can't afford to do a painting for free at the moment, let alone pay you to post it on Instagram. They said, you aren't really business-minded, are you? You just need to do one painting, which will cost you next to nothing, and with my help, you'll be making thousands. Opie responded, that's not true. The canvas itself will be like $180, plus gesso and paint, plus my time. They responded, you know Dad started his photography business doing free photo shoots, and see where he is now. You are no one. You gotta do it for free to be known. I know you're reading my messages. I know you want to prove yourself more now that not even the military wants you, lol. Man, that must have been a huge hit for your parents. Opie responded saying I was discharged due to medical reasons, but it was an honorable discharge. Some things are beyond your control, and epilepsy is one of them. They responded, yeah, but you failed at everything. You didn't hear it from me, but your mum told me she was disappointed in you. You have failed at everything, and I'm here trying to help you. Make her proud, won't you? Here, have a win at least once. Oh, sorry, maybe I shouldn't say anything mean. You might get one of your seizures, cupcake. You aren't really cut out to be an entrepreneur, but an entrepreneur, are you? You aren't going to advance in life like that. Opie responded, seriously. You called my mum to complain I wasn't doing your piece for free. What the hell? I'm an adult, and she doesn't support me or buy any of my art materials. Here is the best I can do for free. Leave me alone now. Then OP shared like a very basic 2-minute drawing of a house with stickmen in front of it. She replied, lol, you're so funny. So funny that I'm about to tell all my followers on TikTok and Instagram about your treatment. You're a joke of an artist. The only people that buy from you are friends because they feel pity for you. Now no one is going to buy from you. You're so dumb. You just screwed yourself big time. I'll make sure no one ever buys from you, then you'll come crawling asking for my help. Then guess what? I'll say no, because fuck you. Have fun talking to some of my devoted followers. And you know what? I'm sure I can make the painting myself. You're a ripoff for wanting to charge for BS anyone can do, loser. I'm sure now your mum is going to be even more proud of you. And then laughs. And Opie replied saying, I'm not reading all that. Bye. Gee whiz, this is bringing me back to the choosing beggars days. We're going to have to cover that subreddit again soon, but Republic Top says, the more influencers who get exposed for the cons they are, the better. Expose away, not the arsehole. Another one says, OP should also show her mum, then ask if she's paying for the canvas, any supplies needed, and the $200 fee to be promoted, which guarantees 0 commissions. Flat out no, I don't work for free. J Pat says, show the girl's dad. Bama Louie says, this is what I came here to see. He's an artist. I'm sure he'd be so proud of his baby girl for having 0 appreciation for the process, cost, or heart that goes into their work. Jen sounds like a spoiled brat, an insufferable brat. Pennsylvania Dutcher says, and it's supposed to be a gift for him. It'd be real nice for Dad to find out Jen's extorting a family friend's daughter, a young artist just starting out, insulting her to boot and using his name and experiences to do so. And it's such a shitty little grifting piece of shit she expects OP to pay her to do the work. Jen's such a dirtbag, she doesn't want to spend money on a gift for Dad. Bet that'll make Dad feel so fantastically loved by his daughter. So sometime later, OP comes in with her update and says, hi everyone, just wanted to give a quick update. I did tell her dad about it. We had a brief talk and he told me that she's been acting out due to problems in her relationship. Not sure if that's true. He also mentioned that she's been battling alcohol and substance abuse, which has made her far more prone to picking fights. She has had recurrent issues with family and friends complaining to him about it. He said it was his fault for always giving her what she wanted and for raising her spoiled. Either way, he assured me that he was going to talk to her and ask her never to contact me again. He also asked me not to tell her boyfriend about it, as they're on the brink of separation. Her attitude towards others is one of the reasons they're having problems. Her dad is a sweetheart and he's currently going through dialysis. I told him it's fine as long as she never contacts me or my family again. As for my mother, I've never gotten along with her, so I've blocked her for now. I'm not sure it'll be forever, but I'm trying to find peace. For those who ask me to expose her publicly, I'm not going to do that. That was never my plan. I never said I would. I only said I would expose her to her family. I appreciate all the support I've received and those who have reached out to check on me. You all are great. I'd appreciate if you guys didn't DM me asking for usernames or if you are a news reporter. I really don't care, and I'm not here to get clout as some say. I just wanted to know if I'd be in the wrong, and I got my verdict. This might not be the update you're wanting, but that's the only one I have for now. And Jake DC says, and quotes, he also mentioned that she's been battling alcohol and substance abuse, which has made her more prone to picking fights. She has had recurrent issues, and then says that is not your problem and should not have any impact on your decisions. And there was a lot of people suggesting OP tell the boyfriend after this, but what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. Now, our next story comes from the subreddit Server Life from LittleGhozt, who says, got punched in the face by a customer. Happened a few hours ago. She busted my lip open in front of 2 children because I asked to ID her and her friend for alcohol. One lady tried using her ID for both of them. I said that wasn't allowed and that I needed both IDs if either of them was going to drink. They got attitudes about it and I started yelling at them once they stood up from the booth and began dangling one of the children about 3 in the air by his arm like he was a doll. I couldn't watch that and not say anything. They continued to scream, telling me to mind my own business, and eventually ended up pushing me into the corner of my section. The lady walked into a table and literally pinned me in the corner with the table, before reaching over it and punching me in the face and busting my lip open. I'm still shaking. I've never been assaulted like that before. Right after the lady punched me, the other lady turns to my manager, who was trying to get in between us, and says in the calmest voice, she was very unprofessional. Like, are you kidding me? Are you fucking serious? The cops were called and I talked to 2 of them. They said they were going to look for the car, and if they can't find it, the case will be sent to a detective. I hope they find them. We didn't have cameras in or outside the building, but we got videos of their faces as well as their handicap sign number. I hope it's enough. We didn't get the license. The picture is too blurry. Sorry, I feel like a mess. My face is swollen and it hurts, and I've never had something like this happen. I'm not confrontational, but when I saw her holding the kid like that, I couldn't stop myself from yelling at her. I hope he's okay. Someone asks OP, how are you feeling? OP says, I honestly don't know. I sat in the tub shaking for a long time. I feel weird and I don't know what to do. The commenter says, take care of yourself. Possible things that might help after an assault. Talk to someone you trust about it. Do mindfulness exercises like meditation or yoga. Avoid alcohol or drugs. Try to maintain your routines like sleeping, eating, and exercising. When you're faced with traumatic feelings, don't ignore them or try to minimize them. Confront them by talking about it or writing your feelings and thoughts down. It could have happened to anyone, and you were right to defend the child. Hopefully they'll be able to catch the culprits and make sure they face punishment from their actions. OP says thank you very much. I'm going to try and do what I can to keep myself mentally and physically healthy while I figure everything out. I really hope they catch them too. Fingers crossed. Commenter says to OP, I hope you get a few days rest. This would have shaken me up big time. OP says, I actually had my 2 weeks in, or handed my 2 weeks in. Anyway, so I told my manager that I wasn't going to finish my last 4 days. I don't want to go back there ever again. Commenter says, go to the hospital. Make them file it as a workers' comp complaint. OP says, I'm thinking about it, especially so they can have documentation of the injury. My entire upper lip is busted open and it hurts like crazy. Commenter says the mother of 2 is very abusive. But what I'm very angry about is their kids had to see their mother beat up a server over an alcoholic drink and ID. That's the kind of behavior that I don't tolerate whatsoever. Hope CPS got involved too. Those kids need to be removed from their parents' care. OP says, that's what I snapped and started yelling back. She's throwing the one kid around and it was appalling to watch. I hope that if they find them, I can bring that up in court as well. Those kids deserve better. Commenter says, what the fuck? How does your restaurant not have cameras? That's unacceptable. If they do find them, take them to civil court so you can fuck them over criminally and civilly. I'm sorry you had to go through that. It's one thing to take verbal abuse from guests, but to be physically assaulted at work is deplorable. Good luck to you. Opie says yeah, having no cameras has been an ongoing issue there, and hopefully with this, they get their shit together and get some around the restaurant. I've been yelled at before, sure, we all have in the industry, but getting punched? Holy shit, I really can't wrap my head around it. It almost doesn't even feel like it really happened. But then I feel my swollen lip and I'm like, shit. Thank you, I appreciate it. Fingers crossed they find them and they get what's coming to them. Commenter says, you know who's very good at tracking cars? Social media. Reddit did it, so did TikTok. Also, if I were you, go to all the other liquor stores or ones that sell alcohol in town and show them their faces and ask if they've been there. No, really, I'll take a day off and do that. Opie says I did make a Facebook post, so have people in the area keeping an eye out. We actually did drive around to the other restaurants in the area, looking for their car afterwards. No luck, unfortunately, but your idea is a pretty good one. Around 2 months later, Opie updated their post and said, hello all, it's been a while since I made the original post, so here's the link if you'd like a recap of the events, and then shared the link. I went to court for this today. The two ladies being charged were found guilty of harassment and each charged a maximum fine of $300 USD. They were not present at the time, which I thought meant they couldn't be charged and would be arrested for failure to show. But the judge passed the verdict anyway, and said they have 30 days to pay or there'd be a warrant out for their arrest. He also said if they wanted to fight it, we'd be going to court again in the coming future. But because they weren't there, we didn't know if they were just going to pay the fine or not. Me and the witnesses, talked to the detective and he said a few things. That they were claiming I was being racist towards them. I was following the law by requesting ID for alcohol. That they only hit me because they thought I was going to hit them. I was literally backed into a corner, so what? That one of them had a long history of other charges. All in all, I was honestly a little disappointed with the outcome because it felt as if they got off easy. I mean, I was attacked at work and literally quit my job because I was scared to go back. I thought the simple assault would stick, but I guess the detective thought only going for harassment was better. Regardless, it was over with. As we were all leaving the courtroom, I saw them both standing at the front desk. They finally showed up 40 minutes late. We walked out the office with the detective. He said he wanted to walk with us just in case they tried to follow us because apparently they were getting upset inside that they missed their court hearing. Too bad. Oh well. You knew what time you were supposed to be there. Me and the witnesses and the detective were just kind of baffled. But we said our goodbyes and I headed home. About an hour passed. I was sitting in my living room from passing time, distracting myself when I got a phone call. It was from the detective. After we left the office, they made a threat to me at the magistrate's office in front of the people that worked there. They said, and I quote, they were going to go to my old job and fuck me up. They didn't know I had quit because of them. How dumb could you be? Did they really think they were going to get away with that? So the detective told me that he was pressing another charge, intimidation of a victim, which is a felony. Edit, he also mentioned terroristic threats. We are going back to court and I couldn't be more thrilled. It'd have to be a different court apparently, but regardless, they're getting even more charges now. I also think they got arrested at the office because the detective said something about them getting picked up, but I'm not sure. I was upset because it felt like they were getting off easy. Not anymore. I'm getting my justice. Thank you everyone for the kind words and encouragement on the original post. I'll post another update when I can, but it may take a while. Someone asked OP, are you not filing a civil lawsuit against them? OP says, I didn't know. I was just told to let the cop press the charges and go from there. I haven't ever been in a situation like this, so it was a lot of new information to take in. I'm considering suing now though, for damages and emotional distress, especially after today. They clearly don't have any remorse for what they did. Commenter says talk to a lawyer like yesterday. You're assaulted at your place of work. You suffered physical and psychological damages, had to quit your job and lost your source of income. They were convicted for the initial charges and are facing a felony. You can and should be compensated. Would not be surprised if a lawyer went after the person or persons who assaulted and your former employer. OP says it's definitely going to be mentioned to a lawyer. I want to do a consultation to see where I can go from here because they were already charged with the harassment. I'm going to see what I can do. Thank you for the advice. Commenter says, OP, please pursue this. You have the right to be compensated. If they get off easy, they might continue to harass and / or threaten you or someone else. Opie says they will definitely be getting the intimidation of a victim charge. They aren't getting out of that, and I'm going to talk to some people about suing. The commenter says they need to learn. Though I feel bad for their children. They not only lost in the situation, but also in the parental lottery. Opie says you're right. I made sure to mention to the judge that they were holding one of the kids in the air by his arm, but it didn't really go anywhere. I really hope they'll be okay, but with parents like that, I don't know. The commenter says, but it's so weird that they weren't charged with failure to appear. Also, if they assaulted you, why just the harassment? Is it a small town? If I were you, I'd call the DA's office and press these questions. Did the court give you a no contact order or a restraining order? Someone is being lazy, and unfortunately, we have to stick up for ourselves when the law won't. Get some pepper gel as well. Opie says I was honestly kind of confused too. Everybody involved was certain they'd be charged with failure to appear. When I asked the detective about it, he said they only get a warrant for their arrest if they don't pay the fine. As for the harassment bit, apparently getting hit is included in that charge. When I talked to the detective when it first happened, he said they'd be getting 3 charges: harassment, simple assault, and criminal conspiracy. I don't understand why they only got the 1 charge. No restraining order, no contact order was filed. I don't want to badmouth the detective, but while we were in the little side waiting room, he kept saying this was the easiest route. I told him multiple times I didn't want the easiest route when the first incident happened. I wanted to hit them hard, and I would do whatever it took to do that because this whole thing was insane. Also, it's not a small town. I live in a major city. This is why I wasn't feeling much justice until I was told we're going back to court. Commenter says at least it was prosecuted. That's the sort of thing I could see LA police not responding or responding but not looking for the suspects, or the prosecutor declining to prosecute. But I'm surprised at how light the sentence was for a person with a history of other charges, assuming the charges resulted in convictions. I could see a fine and probation or suspended sentence for a first offense, but not a habitual offender. OP, one of the girls has a past history of theft charges and apparently some kind of domestic altercation with an ex-boyfriend. Because of those, I also thought she would get a harsher sentencing. When the judge did his verdict, he said he was charging them the maximum fine, which was only $300. I'm assuming that's because it was just a harassment charge and not the simple assault. When I looked it up, simple assault was a lot more. And you can imagine what the comments like, or looking out for this next update when the next court case happens, if you like. And there was also a lot of advice about potential ongoing suing them and etc., which, changes from location and location, so I can't really comment on it. But I really do hope that those people face the maximum consequences that they can. No one should be treated that way when you're just trying to do your job. OP was physically hurt, mentally hurt, and lost her income because she couldn't go back to work because of what these people had done. Absolute scummy behavior. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, your support, your time, it always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.
Wake up, get up, stretch my legs, eat some breakfast, milk and eggs, brush my teeth up, wash my face, throw my clothes on, start my